Okay guys, this is the about year and a half now, or year and 4 months review of the Jeep Grand Cherokee. I know many of you have watched my first video, which was my initial impressions when I bought the vehicle, and it was about, I'd say a couple of weeks or a month old. Now I've had it for over a year, about a year and a half, year and 4 months, and I just want to do a review of the problems I've had, the good things, the bad things. It is nighttime out right now, so I'm filming this inside of a building. I'm an emergency responder, so I'm able to pull my vehicle inside to do this review. So I've had the Jeep for over a year, and my initial impression still for the most part remains the same. I am happy with the vehicle. I think it handles well. I think it's a comfortable ride. Although, I do want to be honest and say some of the problems I've had are regarding the transmission. I have the 8-speed automatic transmission and the V6 engine, and as many of you know, this transmission is a ZF transmission, but it's been modified by Chrysler. So it's not exactly, out of the shop ZF. Some of the problems I've had, the vehicle makes very abrupt very abrupt and harsh shifts, going downhill. Or uphill if it's downshifting from 2 back to 1, and upshifting from 1 to 2. I've taken it to the dealer no less than 6 or 7 times. I keep getting all different stories. This is how it's supposed to be. This is factory standard. There's no problem. There is a problem. I've gone on the forums on Jeep Garage, Jeep Forum, and there's lots of other complaints out there. Finally, after about the 7th time to the dealer, and each time they keep doing a flash, the latest flash they did has fixed the issue. It no longer is a harsh downshift. And when I say harsh, the whole vehicle shudders. You could feel it. It feels as if somebody rear-ended you. So I don't expect that from a vehicle that I paid almost $40,000 for. Some of the other issues I've had is the fit and finish. It's not exactly as I would have expected for a almost $40,000 car. So I'm going to walk over here towards the fuel filler door. Now right now it's difficult to see with the camera, and it's actually fairly flush. But the fuel filler door has a tendency to come out from the vehicle. When I'm sitting in the driver's seat and I look in the mirror, I can actually see the door is about almost 1/4 of an inch to a 1/2 inch out. It's not perfectly flush. So I've taken it to the dealer several times. They actually replaced the whole door. That didn't really correct it. It seems to be more of a temperature thing. The door just kind of, if it's cold, it just kind of is not flush. I'm going to go ahead and pop the fuel filler door. So if we look at the door, and the other problem here, if you could see all this, I just cleaned the Jeep. It does get a substantial amount of fluid beyond the door. Now this is a self-sealing gas cap, which I don't like either, because it always concerns me that water coming in here could actually get into the fuel. It's hard to see with the camera. I'm going to try to position it here. But the door is comprised of 2 pieces, an outer piece of plastic and an interior piece of plastic, and they don't line up completely flush. There's a little gap. It's hard to see with the camera. It's like right here where I'm pointing to. But this gap is what causes the door to not be flush. And again, this is minor, but for an almost $40,000 car, you really do expect that to be entirely flush. I'm going to go ahead and open the lift gate. I don't mind the mess. Like I said, I am an emergency responder, so I do keep a lot of gear in the car. Right here on the side, you can see again the fit and finish. And I take very good care of the Jeep. There is, never anything just thrown in the back. Everything is always very neatly placed back here. And this, since the day I got it, it has not been aligned correctly. There's a big gap. It's popping out. I've asked the dealer to take care of this, and I keep getting the same story. There's nothing wrong with it. We tried to fix it. That's how it is. This is clearly not the way this is supposed to be. If you look at the other side is entirely flush and correct, and this side is not. My other complaint, and I wouldn't really call it a complaint, I was fully aware of this when I bought it, the tires. The tires are good for highway. These are highway tires. But when I took this out in the snow for the first time, I was very disappointed. My Wrangler, which I had previously, handled way better in the snow. These are road tires. These are not snow tires. They're not off-road tires. They're not, I guess you can call them all-terrain, but the tires are a little bit of a disappointment. Again, that's not a fault of Jeep. I knew that going into it, and I am going to replace them at some point, probably with Goodyear DuraTrack. So those are my only real complaints. Definitely the transmission. That was huge. I was actually going to sell the vehicle. I couldn't deal with that. I really don't want to underemphasize the harsh downshifts. It really felt like you were getting rear-ended, and that's how much the vehicle would move back and forth. So again, that has finally been taken care of. It took almost 7 or 8 trips to the dealer. They have a lot of flashes they can do where they update the software, and I guess they finally fixed it. There's a new flash out, but I really don't want to have that done because I'm very fearful that it will bring it back to the harsh downshifting. One other thing I want to point out, there is the Eco button, and this is more with the 2014 model year as opposed to the 2015. So down here is the, zoom in, the Eco on button. When you get in the vehicle, a 2014, and you start the vehicle, Eco comes on by default. You need to manually press the button to turn it off. In the 2015 and later model year, when you turn it off, it stays off until you turn it on again, even if you shut the vehicle. That may not sound like a big deal, but it really is. In Eco mode, the Jeep, in my opinion, shifts terribly. It tries to go from first gear to 8th gear, almost instantaneously. You could be going 25 to 30 miles an hour, and you're in 8th gear. So it bogs you down a lot. Again, that does come back to the transmission. Like I said, and I'm just going to kind of keep reiterating the same point, my only real complaint is the transmission. I really don't like it. Even though the downshifting is fixed, it's still very sluggish. You start out from a light, first, second, third, almost immediately you're in 5th or 6th gear at 20 miles an hour. And obviously you have no power when you're in that kind of a gear. So you really got to punch the gas pedal and then it'll downshift. But again, some people can deal with that. I might just be a little more picky than most people. So once again, this is the year review. The fuel economy is good. Comfort's great. I like the heated seats. I like the heated steering wheel. I like the sunroof. Visibility is good. I really do like the Jeep. I'm very happy with it. Again, my only real complaint is the transmission, and that has been somewhat addressed. And I actually have a relative who bought a 2015, and the 2015 appears to be shifting better. It's not as sluggish. There's no harsh shifts. So I think Jeep may have corrected some of the issues in the 2015. I do want to highly recommend Jeep Forum and Jeep Garage. They're 2 websites, neither of which are owned by me, but I do use them. I research issues. I try to contribute whenever I can, and I think it's a great source of information. That's how I found out a lot of this information about updated flashes for the vehicle, similar problems that people were having, and it's really helped me out. Finally, I'm just going to walk to the front to show you one other fit and finish issue. All right, if we look here at the front, it's kind of hard to see. The rubber seal is significantly away from the glass. It's about a quarter or 3/4 of an inch. And I was reading on the forums that is a common problem. It is actually on my list when it goes to the dealer next to have that corrected. Basically, the problem with that, a lot of water as it comes down the windshield, it goes through there, and I don't really know where it goes. Maybe into the engine compartment. Maybe it just drains out under the vehicle. I'm not sure, but I do know it should not be like that. On this side, very tight fit, tightly sealed. But in the middle, it just bows out, and it's not flush. I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment. Please like. I will do my best to answer. There's a lot of questions, so again, bear with me, and I will do my absolute best to answer. If I had to buy the Jeep again, would I still buy it? Yes, I would. I definitely like the vehicle. I just really hope that, Chrysler gets the transmission working for people that have the 2014, and I hope they keep it good for the 2015. Thank you.